Yo, what's going on, guys? This is not the typical videos I do, but I thought I'd switch it up a little bit. So, if you guys don't know, Ubisoft just released this page about Assassin's Creed into 2026. It says, "Hello everyone. As we get ready to step out of winter, we want to share an event on what we plan for the rest of the year across the Assassin's Creed franchise." With Jean Gustin, which is the new creative director. He's the new head of content. Sorry, who he just came back to the franchise. I'm not gonna watch the video, but I'm gonna go over basically. So basically, in this article, they explain about they're basically kind of done with the rest of Shadows. They're just gonna kind of leave it how it is and move on to their other projects that are going on, like Codename Hex. Hopefully Assassin's Creed Jade, which I don't know if you guys remember about 3 years ago, that was shown at one of the like gameplay area videos. I don't remember what it was called. And then also, they also mentioned about the Netflix show and my favorite game, Black Flag Resynced remake. So, very exciting for me. But they're going to celebrate this on March 20th about Assassin's Creed Assassin's Creed Shadows turning 1 year old. So, that's always cool to hear. But with Hexe, what is next for Hexe? It says that while we haven't shared much about this one yet, it has been building great by our veteran team here in Ubisoft Montreal, which I'm really excited to hear about Montreal, guys. All the new head of Assassin's Creed are all from Montreal and not, I think it was Quebec that were mainly the head of Assassin's Creed. So I'm glad they went back to the original, branch of Ubisoft that was head of Assassin's Creed. I'm glad they went back to it. It says it's expected to be a unique and darker narrative-driven Assassin's Creed experience set in a pivotal moment in history. So it's more of a gloomy, dark game, not very popular. They've also mentioned Assassin's Creed Invictus, that it's going to be a PvP multiplayer, because I've heard they want to switch up the formula to where not just making the same games, like how it was not a few years ago, but like when it was from like AC1 to about up to Syndicate, when it was kind of the same format, at least similar foundation, but then, they wanted to switch it up a little bit. So that's what I heard they're trying to do here, along with the PvP for the multiplayer. Actually, the team that made For Honor, which I've personally never played, but I heard it's really good. They are actually the team that is leading this project called Codename Invictus, which I think is awesome. Very interesting to try it, see how they, make it into a multiplayer. And then they also have mentioned Jade. Beyond these, we have several other projects currently in the works, all at different stages of development, including Assassin's Creed Jade, which hasn't really been talked about for the past few years. And it says we're looking into bringing co-op back to Assassin's Creed. A detail we didn't know, we know didn't go unnoticed. So that's very interesting here. What matters most is giving each project the time it deserves and releasing them when they're ready, which I am beyond glad to hear, especially this last part, giving each project the time it deserves and releasing them when they are ready. They need to understand that they don't need to release a game every single year, or they need to release it early because people are waiting on it. They can be just like Rockstar Studio, maybe not as extreme where they're 10 years in between games, but spend more time on the games to truly critique it into what they want and what the community wants. Because I know Assassin's Creed fans are very separate, especially a lot of people. I personally started playing this game when Black Flag came out, so 2013. So I'm more of an old school Assassin's Creed fan, especially for my age, because I'm only 18. So it's a little weird for me to be more of an old school fan. You would probably think I'm RPG, but anyway, sorry, I'm getting off topic here. Yeah, there's a big divide of whether your people like RPGs or they like the old games. Personally, I prefer the old games, but like if there's a good Assassin's Creed RPG game, I wouldn't hate it. But I prefer more the story, adventurous, action heavy Assassin's Creed old school style, basically. Exactly what Black Flag is. But it says speculations around Assassin's Creed is not new, but it's worth repeating. Nothing is true, everything is permitted. Well, expect in this case, some whispers have a little more wind in their sails. Keep your spyglass on the horizon. Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced. They quite literally just confirmed that they're releasing, which, I mean, it was already heavily confirmed, but not really fully confirmed by Ubisoft. But they literally just basically completely confirmed that Black Flag, Assassin's Creed Black Flag is in the works. Completely. Which, I don't know if you guys know, but it was supposed to come out in Ubisoft's fiscal year this year, in early March, but a lot of leaks suggest that it's getting pushed back because they want to polish the game, which makes sense because it's by far one of the most popular games they've ever released and a very heavy beloved favorite, like by far my favorite. So it makes sense that they want to maybe spend one more year or one more fiscal year and then release it in hopes of them getting people to come back to the series. But yeah, they just dropped this image like no tomorrow. It's a cover theme with Edward, which I'm glad he looks the same. Thank God they didn't like change him around, make him look funny. And if you notice, they have like, they using like this metallic metal kind of looking logo, which I thought was pretty sick. But yeah, it's called Black Flag Resynced. Not remake, resynced. So it's basically the same thing. And then there's a lot of news on the Netflix live action series. It says yes, it's been a long time in the making, but Assassin's Creed is taking a leap into the live action series. You may have seen news about the cast lately, and we cannot wait for you to discover more. Something tells us you won't have to wait very long. Hinting that it's going to hopefully come out soon. Hopefully, maybe in the next few months. I'm not 100% sure. But the main thing I'm really excited about is Black Flag, because that's been my favorite game in the franchise ever since I first played it. But I've always loved Black Flag, so to hear that they're doing a remake to where I get to replay it for the first time and it's a refresh, because like I've always wanted to be able to replay Black Flag for like the first time ever, like as if I never played it before, but obviously you just can't do that. So I'm really glad they're doing a resync, so now I can actually get that feeling again of replaying the game with some new tweaks to it, to where it's not the same old Black Flag that we know. But hopefully they just add to it and don't ruin it, because I know I've never really talked about I never really talked about what I would want to see in Black Flag. I basically think that they should just add more depth, not like RPG depth where they add just overload. Just add more depth to already existing content in the games. Make the assassin contracts and the ship contracts, make those more unique and not just find these ships, protect this ship, take out these ships. You know what I mean? Make it more diverse. And then the Jackdaw too, you know, like make it a little bit more in depth. Maybe upgrading, like you can get better sails to where your ship will move a little faster. Not like crazy, but something, you know, adds a little bit more depth to the game to where it's better replayability. Because that's the one thing that Black Flag lacks, is the replayability is not really there. It's kind of the same playthrough every single time you play through it. But anyways, talking a lot about Black Flag, that's probably that's a video for a different day. They also are coming out with a free FPS patch for Assassin's Creed Unity on the Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 tomorrow. So those of you that are currently playing Unity and I guess you're having FPS bugs and patches and issues, well, just know that they're coming out with a new one, so that's always nice. But yeah, look at this, guys. Shadows. I don't know what this logo is actually, but the Black Flag, if that's the new symbol for it, I think it's sick. I really like the like metallic but like rugged looking color, because it's like it's like silver and metallic, but it's also like almost looks kind of dirty, like an older style, like a pirate coin. I don't know how to really explain it too much. And Assassin's Creed Hex, that's always sick. The Netflix show, I mean, I'm not gonna be too mad about it. I'm not mad about it, but like I'm not super excited for it. But if it's a good game, then good game. What am I talking about? I'm sorry, guys. If it's a good show, I'll watch it. I'll definitely watch it. That's for sure. But hopefully it's actually interesting and not just something that you put on in the background that you don't pay attention to. But I'm really curious. I've never really done these videos before. Most of mine are usually just me playing the games, but I want to start getting into more of like ranking videos, different types of videos, you know, to where I'm adding more diverse content. And so I want to, you know, go over the news reports on Assassin's Creed. And I'm very excited that Jean Goodson, or Gustin, I don't know how to say his last name. I'm very glad that he's a new creative director, because he helped on AC1, and he was a creative director for Black Flag and Origins, which both those games are like in my top 5. You already know which, and one of them is my #1 favorite. But anyways, you guys already know how I feel about Black Flag. So I'm very excited to see that he's the new head of creativity and content. That's amazing to hear. And I'm very excited to see where Assassin's Creed goes. I really want to see this franchise, you know, bloom again and not just go down a steep hill. I feel like no matter what, there will always be fan division between the RPGs and the old games. This is how it's going to be. No matter how good the RPG is or how good the old school game, if they come back to it, there's always going to be a division because people just have different tastes in games. But if we can at least all agree that they make good games again, then that would just mean the world to me, and I think everyone else that plays these games, that have been playing these games as long as I have. So yeah, I'm curious to know what your guys' thoughts are. Please, if you have any thoughts or anything, comment them down below. I will definitely make sure to reply to them. I love chatting with you guys to see what's going on. But I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and God bless you all.